Good morning, dear students. In the last session, we talked about the plosive consonants, and today we'll be talking about the second classification of consonant based on the manner of articulation or the structure involved. Okay, so based on the structure involved, consonants can be divided into six, and the first one was plosive consonant, and we already discussed plosive consonants, and today we'll be talking about affricates, the second classification, and that is affricates. So, what are affricate consonants? So, affricate consonant sounds are those consonant sounds which are articulated with a structure of a structure of complete oral closure and a slow release. Okay. So, what kind of structure is involved in the production of affricate consonants? So, a structure of complete closure and slow release. Okay, so what happened in plosive consonants? There it is complete closure and the sudden release. Okay, so here there is a subtle difference. Okay, here also you have complete closure, but the release is very slow. Okay, it's a slow release. Clear? So, what are affricate consonants? I'll repeat it once again. Affricate consonants are those consonant sounds in the production of which there is complete closure of air within the mouth, and the organs of speech are separated slowly, allowing the air to escape with an audible friction. Okay, so there is a slow release. Okay, so it is articulated with a structure of slow, complete closure and slow release. Okay, so what happened? The articulating organs are brought together. When the articulating organs are brought together, there is complete closure. So, complete closure of air within the mouth. Okay, complete closure of air. And what happened? Then the articulating organs are separated slowly. So then the articulating organs are separated slowly, which allows the air to escape with audible friction. Okay, so the articulating organs are separated slowly. Okay, so such sounds are called affricate consonants. Okay, and we have two affricates in English, and they are ch and j. Okay, ch and j. Okay, these are the two affricate sounds in English. Okay, uh, we'll also talk about the three-term label of these two sounds. So ch is a voiceless sound. The ch, just pronounce it. There is no vibration in your vocal cords. Voice, voiceless. So ch is a noiseless. Then it's a palato alveolar consonant. So voiceless, palato alveolar, and we are talking about affricate consonants. Okay, alveolar, affricate consonant. So this is the three-term label of ch. Okay, ch is voiceless, then it's a palato alveolar consonant, and then it's an affricate consonant. So voiceless, palato alveolar, affricate consonant. Okay, so now we'll be talking about j, the second affricate consonant. So since it is voiceless, here we have voiced. Okay, ch, j. When you pronounce j, there is vibration. Okay, so it's a noised consonant, noised, and palato alveolar. J is also a palato alveolar consonant. Palato alveolar consonant. So palato alveolar affricate consonant. Okay, it's always the palato-alveolar affricate consonant. So here it is voiceless, and here it is voiced. Okay, so these are affricate consonants. So what do you mean by affricate consonants? Affricate. What are affricate consonants? Affricate consonants are those consonants in the production of which there is complete closure of air within the mouth, and the air is released slowly. Okay, so what kind of structure is involved? The structure, there is a structure of complete closure and slow release. This is the most important point. Structure of complete closure and sudden release. And then you have two sounds, ch and j. Okay. So now we'll be talking about the third consonant sound. The third classification of consonant sounds in English. Okay. And that is fricatives. Fricatives. So what are fricative consonants? What are fricatives? You know, fricatives consonants are those consonant sounds in the production of which the articulating organs, you know, uh, uh, they are brought so close together that the air escapes through the narrow space between them, which results in the production of an audible friction. Okay, so I'll repeat it once again. What are fricatives? Fricative consonants are those consonants in the production of which, there is, you know in the production of which the articulating organs come so close. Okay, so the articulating organs come so close that, there is only a narrow space between these articulating organs, so the air escapes through that narrow space. ഓക്കെ, വളരെ ചെറിയൊരു സ്പേസ് മാത്രമേ ഉണ്ടാവുള്ളൂ. ആ സ്പേസിലൂടെ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും? ദ എയർ വിൽ എസ്കേപ്പ്. ഓക്കെ, സച്ച് സൗണ്ട്സ് ആർ കോൾഡ് ഫ്രിക്കറ്റീവ് കോൺസണൻസ്. എന്താണ് ഫ്രിക്കറ്റീവ് കോൺസണൻസ്? ഫ്രിക്കറ്റീവ് കോൺസണൻസ് ആർ ദോസ് കോൺസണൻസ് വിച്ച് ആർ ആർട്ടിക്കുലേറ്റഡ് with a structure of narrow approximation or close approximation. So, fricative sounds are articulated with a structure of, what kind of structure is involved? Structure of narrow approximation or close approximation. Narrow approximation or close approximation. Okay, it comes so near. Okay, so the articulating, or what happened in the production of fricative sounds? The fricative, when you produce fricative sounds, the articulating organs come so close that there is only a narrow space in between these articulating organs. Okay, there is, the articulating organs come so close that only there is only a narrow space between these articulating organs. അല്ലെ, വളരെ ഇടുങ്ങിയ സ്ഥലേ ഇവ തമ്മിൽ ഉണ്ടാവുള്ളൂ. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ it becomes the air to, pass through very easily. വളരെ ഈസി ആയിട്ട് പോകാൻ പറ്റില്ല. So what happened? The air escapes through these narrow space. Okay, so that's why it's said as, fricatives are articulated with a structure of narrow approximation or close approximation. Okay. Hmm? uh, and which are the fricative sounds in English? So you have 9 fricative sounds in English, and they are f, w, th, the, f, w, the, s, z, sh, j, h. Okay, so these are the 9 fricative sounds in English: f, w, th, the, s, z, sh, j, and h. Okay, so we'll be looking at the three-term label now. Okay, f. So f is a noiseless sound. F is a noiseless sound. Then it's a labiodental sound. Labiodental. So voiceless labiodental fricative consonant. Okay. F is a noiseless labiodental fricative consonant. Then V. So verb, if it is voiceless, then it will be voiced. Okay, voiced, fur and the ver. Ver is an voiced, labiodental, fricative consonant. So fur, ver, then the. Okay, the is voiceless. Again, it is voiceless. Voiceless, dental, fricative consonant. Then the, fur, the. Okay, here it is voiceless, so automatically the becomes voiced dental, fricative consonant. Then it's voiceless alveolar fricative consonant. And and it is voiced alveolar fricative consonant. Okay, forward says, forward the, and the last, last three sounds. Sh. Sh is voiceless, palato alveolar fricative consonant. Sh, and then it is voiced palato alveolar fricative consonant. And the last one is her. Her is a voiceless glottal. So there is only glottal, there is only one glottal sound in English, and that is her. So it is voiceless and a glottal fricative consonant. Okay. So these are the 9 fricative consonants in English. Okay, so I'll repeat it once again. What are fricative sounds? Fricative sounds are those sounds in the production of which the articulating organs are brought together so close that there is only a narrow gap between them. Okay, so there emerges only a narrow gap. So the air escapes through this narrow space, which results in the production of an audible sound, and these sounds are called fricative sounds. So fricative sounds are articulated with a stricture of narrow approximation or close approximation. Okay, so in affricate sounds, it is a stricture of, in affricate sounds, it's a stricture of complete closure and a slow release. In plosive consonants, it's a structure of complete closure and sudden release. So in plosive it is complete closure and sudden release. Then in affricates it is complete closure and slow release. And the third one, fricatives. And in fricatives, it's a stricture of narrow approximation or close approximation. Thank you. Hope you understood the topic.